everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be all about whether or not you should tip when you're on your cruise, and if so, how much should you tip? Let's discuss it. Stay tuned. Okay, so back in the good old days, you could go on a cruise, have your whole fun all week long, and then on the last day of your cruise, magically on your bed there would be some envelopes for you to tip who you wanted to tip. It would be for the room steward, for your wait staff, maybe for the bartenders, but you know, discreetly placed. And then ideally you would go to dinner on your last day, slide your wait staff their tips, go on about your life. Nowadays the cruise lines do automatic gratuities where whatever their daily price is, which can range from $12 to $20 per day depending on which cruise line you're on, then they automatically add that to your onboard account, and that's how you're charged for that. You can choose to prepay your gratuities, or you can just leave them on your account and then you settle your account like you would on your cruise. Either pay it before you leave, or it's automatically charged to the credit card you have on file. However you set up your onboard expense account, excuse me. So that's how all of that works. But there's always debate no matter what the topic is. But I think tipping is probably the most sensitive debate that I've seen online when regards to cruising. So we're going to discuss just a little bit 3 reasons why you might want to remove your tips, 3 reasons why you may not want to remove your tips. So let's get right into it. Before I get started on this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give me a like, and also know that anything that I say in this video is my personal opinion, has nothing to do with you or the way you choose to spend your money. This is just my thoughts, okay? So one of the reasons why you might want to remove your tips is if you get bad service. Now, I've seen so many posts online about having bad service. I've never had bad service on a cruise. I've never come across any rude employees or anything like that, but I'm sure it does happen. But if you feel that the service was not up to par, that might be a reason why you would want to not pay the tips. As far as I know, the tips are split between the room steward, your wait staff, the cooks, the bus boys, the cleaners. Like, they say that it's broken down to a lot of different people. So you don't really know exactly where your tips are going and how much of your contribution is going to which, you know, person. But if you feel that the personal service you received was not great, that might be a reason why you want to remove your tips. Another reason you might want to remove your tips is if you want to personally give a gift of gratitude to people who helped you. So that's like your room steward who's been with you all week, getting you ice, making your bed, making your cute towel animals, and you feel more connected with them. So you might want to remove the tips and give that person a personal tip for however much you want. And it could not even be money. You could want to give them some other, you know, homemade gifts. Or I know some people give out phone cards or Visa cards or something like that. Something that the people can use, you know, like when they get off the ship or something. So you might want to do like that. If you have a favorite bartender who has just been hooking your drinks up all week, you want to give them something personally. Or you might have a better connection with not the head waiter, but the waiter beneath them. So you might want to give that one a little bit more. Like, it's all personal, honestly. So that could be a reason why, like, you want to go above and personally thank someone who was good to you personally. And that's how you want to do it. Now, the last reason you could want to remove your tips is you just overall in general don't agree with the system of mandatory tipping. Some people don't believe in giving tips, and that's their personal choice. If that's something that you don't agree with, then you can have the tips removed. If you want to have your tips removed, you could just go to guest services at some point whenever you see them on your account. They don't always put them on like the first day. Usually you won't see them until the second or third day, depending how long your cruise is. And then you would just go to guest services and say, I want to have the tips removed from my account. And as far as I know, you don't have to give them a reason. You don't have to come up with some whole, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I want to go here, I want to go there. You can just say, I want to remove the tips. It's not mandatory. You are not obligated to do it. So that could be a personal choice. Okay, so let's move on to reasons why you will leave the tips on your account. And the first one is simply because you just had wonderful service. This is, if you just had a great cruise, everybody was exceptionally nice to you. Your room steward, you asked him for a fresh towel one time, and every time you came back, there was a fresh towel. Every time you came in your room, you had a nice ice cold bucket of ice. Or the big mess you left was nicely disappeared and straightened up while you were gone. Or every time you walk down the hall, there's just somebody that was, hey, Susan, they call you by your first name. Have a great day. How did you enjoy the port when you coming back? Did you have fun? Is there something that you need? You just overall felt like everybody that worked for that cruise ship wanted to make sure you had a wonderful time. Okay, so another reason you might want to leave the tips on is because like you have that worry that if you take them off, now everybody's going to look at you crazy like, there she go. She took her tips off. I'm like making her drink. Or, oh, that's the woman who decided not to leave her tips on. Let's not answer her request for whatever. Some people think that like, oh, well, if I do this, then I'm going to be shunned by everybody on the ship because all the employees are going to talk and I'm going to be pointed out as the one that was being cheap and didn't want to leave my tips on. Which I wouldn't worry about because I highly doubt that that would happen. And there's no way that they would all know that you took your tips off. Not to mention, as I said before, it's not mandatory, so they should not judge you. And you should not feel judged if you decide to remove your tips. But that could be a reason why a lot of people just leave the tips on. And the last one, you might want to leave your tips on just because you want the convenience of not having to worry about it. So, which is one of the reasons why I do the prepay for the gratuities. Because then I know exactly when I get on that ship, everything that I need to be paid for is paid for. The tips are paid for and I don't have to worry about it any longer. And you just want the convenience of knowing that you don't have to worry about anything. If you're using a cash account, I would suggest, which is what I do with Carnival because I cruise Carnival, I purchase Cruise Cash ahead of time. You can go on their website and you can pre-purchase Cruise Cash and you can have it so soon as you get on board. Say if before you leave you have accumulated $150 in Cruise Cash. That's how much you've been putting on your account. Once you get on board, that $150 is already there waiting to be used. So you can leave, if so your tips are $65 for the week. You know that that $65 is paid because you have the money already on there. So you don't even have to worry about it. Or you can, if you're using a credit card for your account, then you just know that at the end of your trip, whatever your bill is, it's going to be charged to the credit card that you have on file. And you don't have to worry about it anymore. And that's just the ease of enjoying your vacation and not every day thinking, how much do I have left? How much do I have left? Alright, there you have it. Those are just some quick ideas on why you may or may not want to keep the tips on your account with your cruise ship. Like I said, it's definitely a personal choice. You do not have to share your choice with anyone. It's your money. You choose to spend it the way you want to. Some people give extra. They leave their tips on and then they still give their room steward or their wait staff extra tips. Some people choose not to. It's all personal. It's all relevant to you, to your budget, to your money. And the one thing that's most important is to enjoy your vacation. The cruise is what is the most important, and you need to decide before you go how you want that vacation to be. So tip or not tip, enjoy yourself. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you stopping by. Hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe before you leave. I'll see you next time. Bye.